There is a sickness that does not touch your body. It touches the reason you even bother getting up in the morning. It starts small. You overthink one thing, then another, then everything. And before you notice it, you have slipped into nihilism. This thing spreads fast once it gets into your head. Every joy you felt, every fight you had, starts to feel pointless. Look at history. Even the biggest names eventually got forgotten. Kings, legends, all of them ended up as two dates on a stone, with grass growing next to it. Like nothing ever happened. When the questions go too far, it usually starts with one simple question. Why am I even here? What is the point of any of this? At first, it just feels like normal thinking, but if you keep pulling that thread without ever stepping back into real life, the question stops helping you. It starts wrecking you. You think you are searching for an answer, but you are actually tearing apart the meaning you already had. That is what nihilism really is. A total rejection of value, truth, and meaning itself. The man who said, God is dead. Nietzsche saw this happening before almost anyone else did. He is the one who famously said, God is dead. People love to quote that line like it was some kind of victory speech. It was not. He was not celebrating anything. He was warning everyone. The old belief systems, the moral codes people leaned on for centuries were falling apart. And once those went down, people were left with nothing solid under their feet. The fake strength. Everyone is selling. Now, this did not go away. It just changed outfits. Scroll through social media today and you will see it everywhere. I do not need anyone. I stay independent. I do not get attached. It sounds like confidence on the surface. Half the time, it is not. Half the time, it is someone quietly numbing themselves because connection got too painful somewhere along the way. That is nihilism dressed up as strength. And a lot of people are wearing it right now without even knowing it. What happens if you let it win? If you let this thinking run unchecked, it will drain you. You stop caring. You stop trying. Not because you are lazy, but because nothing feels worth the effort anymore. This is the real danger here. It is not the questions themselves. It is what happens when you never answer them and just sit in that blank feeling for months or years. The darkest point before it clicks. Here is the part most people never hear. Nietzsche did not think the goal was to destroy meaning and stay there. He thought the real test was what you build after everything falls apart. Nihilism is not the finish line. It is the low point, right before things start making sense again. It strips away every belief you only had because someone else handed it to you. And once that junk is cleared out, something shifts. Getting back to who you actually are. This is where it turns around. Once you stop caring what people think or what they will say, you are finally left with one honest question. What do you actually care about when nobody is watching? What would you still choose to do, even if no one ever found out you did it? That question tells you more about yourself than any amount of overthinking ever will. The moment it actually makes sense. The moment you stop doing things to impress people. Stop doing things for money or status or to look good to some crowd. And you start doing something just because you actually want to. That is the moment things click. Most of what you do all day is shaped by outside pressure, whether you realize it or not. But somewhere underneath all of that, there is something in you that is actually yours. Most people never sit still long enough to hear it. You are already the answer. So next time your brain starts spiraling with, why am I here? What is the point? Do not let it drag you under. Nihilism wants you to believe none of it matters, that every effort is wasted. Do not buy it. Here is the truth nobody tells you straight. You do not need some grand cosmic reason to justify your existence. You are not waiting on permission from the universe to start living your life for real. You already are the reason, not something you find later, not a prize at the end. You are it right now. Stop looking for proof that you matter. You already do. Do you replay a small awkward comment you made 3 days ago until it ruins your whole night? Do you lose sleep over one rude comment some stranger left on your post? Most people burn through insane amounts of energy on this exact loop. Regret, overthinking, beating themselves up over things that already happened and cannot be changed. It feels like your brain just will not shut off, no matter how many times you tell it to stop. You lie there at midnight, replaying the same 5 seconds of a conversation, like it is going to somehow turn out different this time. Here is the strange part. A group of philosophers figured out the fix for this over 2,000 years ago, and almost nobody actually uses it. They were called the Stoics. Stoicism came out of ancient Greece and Rome, and at its core, it is really simple. Focus only on what you can actually control. Accept everything else. Deal with life through reason instead of raw emotion. That is the whole foundation. Not complicated at all once you break it down. And yet, almost nobody actually practices it because it goes against every instinct you have when something goes wrong. The first rule of Stoicism is learning to separate 2 categories: what is actually in your control and what is not. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your own actions. Those are yours. Other people's opinions, external events, life and death, money and outcomes. None of that is yours to control. Most people spend their entire life trying to manage things that were never theirs to manage in the first place. That is exactly where the exhaustion comes from. Once you stop gripping so hard onto things you were never going to control anyway, you start to feel something you have not felt in a while. Actual freedom. Less pointless suffering. Less lying awake at night trying to fix something that finished hours ago. Picture this. You text a friend and hours go by with no reply. Your brain immediately goes into overdrive. Did I say something wrong? Was I too much? Do they even like me anymore? You keep opening the chat, staring at their profile picture, rereading the whole conversation from the start, looking for the exact moment you messed up, spiraling over nothing. Stoicism cuts straight through this. Their response time, their mood, their logic, and where the friendship ends up going. None of that is yours to control. Stop wrestling with things you were never going to win control over in the first place. Put your energy back into what you can actually manage. That is how you get your peace back. Not by getting the answer you wanted, by letting go of the need for one. This idea alone changes how people move through daily life. Instead of gripping every outcome and every reaction from other people, you learn to let go of the parts that were never yours to hold. That single shift is where most of the anxiety disappears from. The Stoics also believed the highest way to live as a rational being is to align yourself with nature. Following nature basically means following reason. Think about the seasons changing, whether you are ready for winter or not. Think about aging and eventually dying, whether you like the idea or not. These are just part of the natural order. Fighting against that order guarantees you pain, because you are fighting something that was never going to bend for you. Accepting it is actually the more rational choice, even though it feels harder in the moment. Stoicism also pushes you to clear out negative emotion through reason, so you can get some actual peace of mind. Anxiety, anger, fear. According to the Stoics, these do not come from the event itself. They come from how you judge that event. Say someone insults you. That flash of anger comes from the belief that people are required to respect you. But reason tells you something different. Their attitude was never yours to control in the first place. The only thing you can actually control is your own mind. Change the judgment, and the anger loses its fuel before it even gets started. Epictetus put it simply: suffering is the road to wisdom. That single idea pushes you to accept whatever life throws at you instead of resisting it every step of the way. If the hard thing cannot be undone anyway, you might as well treat it as a chance to grow instead of a reason to shut down. Most people treat a hard season of life as proof something is wrong with them. Epictetus would say it is just raw material. What you do with it after is the part that is actually up to you. Why this still works in a world full of noise. We are living in a time packed with anxiety and constant comparison, and Stoicism gives you a clear-headed way to deal with all of it. It teaches you to separate what you can control from what you cannot, to put your energy into your own judgment and your own actions instead of everyone else's opinion of you, to stay steady when you're under pressure, to stay steady when you fail, to stay steady when the whole internet has something to say about you. Not by running from hard things, not by needing everyone around you to validate your choices, just by holding on to what you actually believe, even when it gets difficult. This is not about becoming cold or shutting off your feelings. It is about not letting every single thing that happens around you decide how your day goes. That is the real payoff here. Even when everything around you feels like it is collapsing, you can still hold on to something steady inside yourself. Not because the outside world calmed down, because you stopped needing it to. The Stoics were not chasing comfort. They were building something that could not be shaken. That is the part worth taking with you.